Hello, welcome to my program on product presentation. My name is Bob Seshadri with 40 years of international retail experience in sales, marketing, and profit center management as a business head and a general manager for a couple of companies abroad. So I'm going to take you through this program. Let's talk about the presentation, the product presentation. A successful product presentation should be based on detailed qualification and product knowledge. So many sales get lost at this point, of the presentation. So many salesmen fail to realize the importance of product knowledge and of showing the product that the prospect is interested in buying. So it's so important to have the facts on your fingertips. When presenting to a customer, should be very fluent. People are impressed by professionalism, and a good way to portray professionalism is through product knowledge. Of course, you can get away with statements like, I'm not too sure, or let me look it up for you, but that's only to a certain extent. Your customers make their purchasing decision largely on the strength of information, your information and your competitors' information. The sales consultant who provides the best information from the customer's point of view gets the order. So when presenting a product information to customers, make sure that the information that you're providing is relevant, is in logical sequence, sufficient, to the point, clearly worded, and honest. Enthusiasm is something that you can smell miles away. If you're enthusiastic about your job, you'll be successful. If you're enthusiastic, anything you do, you'll be good at. And you'll be happy about it. Once you get better at your job and close a few deals, you'll be even more enthusiastic. When we were struggling with 4 cars a month, it was stressful. But what made us successful was the enthusiasm for the job, the enthusiasm about grabbing hold of a customer and persuading the person to buy your product. So, product knowledge is of paramount importance even before you start qualifying a customer or presenting a product. The truth is that the product is a far better salesperson than you are. That's because it's a tangible object. It appeals to all senses, whereas a salesman can only appeal to two at best, sound and vision. You can sit in the car, you can feel it, you can smell it, you can see it, and also hear it. Like a mattress, a chair, a hammock, anything. Remember, your product is the hero. No brochure can explain the way you can. Thus, this becomes a very important part towards the sale. So, present a product by gaining the attention of the customer, arousing the person's interest, by building the desire for the product, by speaking through conviction, by proving that you have to offer is exactly what the customer needs. Secure the agreement to a demonstration while you're at it. This is largely towards a motor car, which will show the product in action and help remove possible price barriers. Successful selling is no accident. It requires planning, organizing, and self discipline. In short, a professional plans each phase of the sale. Having even a fully qualified prospect does not make you money unless you are able to get a signature on the order form. Unfortunately, today's salesmen often turn a prospect into a shopper for the price because he or she fails to create that enthusiasm for the product and the desire to own it. They sell neither the benefits of the product, nor the company, or the story. So appeal to all the four senses out of five. The sales consultant must remember that we have a tremendous advantage in selling products. The customer is not a mere number. He or she is a human being who has five senses: sight, the touch, the smell, the hearing, and the taste. I agree. It's unlikely that you'll be able to appeal to a customer's sense of taste if you're selling a car. However, you could always, if you're selling a juicer or some other machine, you could always go for it and say that, look, this is the best product you can get, and that the juice would be extracted during the juicer even, and you can prove it during a demonstration process. How comfortable one could be sleeping on an orthopedic mattress, touch, feel, make them sit down there. You must involve the other four senses every time you present a product. Sight. Let's go one by one. Let's go by sight. The first sight is important. We used to view a car from the passenger side in a left-hand drive market, standing a few feet away so the whole car can be viewed and the side from the side view till the tail. If you're selling white goods, make sure the fridge or the bed is displayed in a place where it attracts attention, as opposed to being stacked up. Then the beauty doesn't come out at all. Then the touch. It could be futile to explain to the texture of an upholstery, of a seat or a mattress, or when you could feel it. A sense of touch is far more meaningful than a verbal description. The smell. How can you describe the smell of leather in a new car? It's not possible. You can't just you'll have to demonstrate it. You have to present the car, and get the customer to feel it, to smell it. The hearing. Start the engine. Let him hear to the throb of the engine. Switch on the music, the television. Let him hear how it sounds. Product knowledge will give you the confidence in your product, and that confidence will give you enthusiasm. Enthusiasm, I keep repeating this, nothing is quite as contagious. So know your product, talk about it enthusiastically. And remember those two key questions, always. I'm re-emphasizing it here. There are two questions that you must ask the customer before you start the presentation, unless he's a first-time buyer. They've always worked for me. When you come in to buy a car with a trade-in car, ask the customer what they like about the present car that they own. Is there anything that they don't like about the present car that they own? Armed with these information, you can offer your customer a completely personalized presentation based on the features that appeal to him or her most. Another important factor to look for is the prospect's primary buying motivation. Recent research shows that it is far better to discover the primary buying motivation of the individual customer, expand on it, and then present the product. In some places, people still follow the old tried and tested method of a walkabout. I still think it works. Here you start out by viewing the car from a distance from the passenger side, reach the car, open the front passenger door, show the leg room, move to the rear passenger door if it's a four-door sedan, show the effectiveness of the door latch. Some cars have door latches that can't be quickly identified. Show and get the prospect to feel the car fabric or the leather, whatever the car is equipped with. Move to the boot, open it, show the amount of luggage. It can be kept. That can be kept. Pack luggage isn't there. I used to pack luggages in the showroom floor on the car, inside the cars. In some vehicles, I have to place a golf kit to show how much room it could take, and a fishing tackle and off-road equipment in some, to show how much space there is, instead of just stating a number like 200 or 300 liters as people do. Then you move to the rear door, open it and get the prospect to sit down, meanwhile pushing the driver's seat forward so that the customer has enough leg room. Then get the customer to sit on the driver's seat, and this time make sure that the driver's seat is fully extended. Then you sit on the passenger side and explain the dashboard controls. Hand, foot brake, pedal, play the music system, show the navigation system, the fuel tank position, how you can find out from the dashboard. Oh, don't forget the sun visor too. Sometimes you have places where you can keep your dark glasses in there. So those are all features and benefits which we'll come to in a short while. Then one opens the bonnet and points out the engine and talks about the features and benefits of the torque, the horsepower, the braking system, and the drivetrain. During the process that I just mentioned, when the sales consultant reaches the primary uh, motive area, primary, like for example, if one of the primary motive was an automatic transmission. When you come to the automatic transmission, tell the customer you were looking for an automatic transmission. Here it is. Perhaps it could be the sports mode in an automatic system. So point out to the sports mode and tell them, look, this is what you wanted, and this is what I'm talking about. Should emphasize that point and reassure the prospect that he's being shown the right product. Surveys asking people why they don't buy a car or a product from a dealer that they had just been to discover that though the prospect was interested in the product and the salesman was good from a traditional point of view, the customers felt that they seem to be more interested in telling us what they want to tell us rather than what we wanted to know. The salesmen were just not bothering to find out what the primary motivation of the buyer was. Sales consultants should try and discover this point within the first 10 minutes of every contact. Within the first 10 minutes, you should know what is the primary motivation for the customer to buy the car. This can be done by asking the customer, why are you looking at this particular product, Mr. Bob? This usually catches the purchaser off guard, so the salesman will get an honest answer. Then it's a simple matter for the salesman to define this and zero in on the customer's needs. Then the salesman can target and show the customer exactly the feature he or she is interested in instead of going through the entire procedure. You've got to use your common sense. I'll relate an incident. One of our new salesmen, fresh out of training, was eager to try out his newfound skills on an unsuspecting customer. Unfortunately for him, the customer had come in earlier and had decided to buy the car, and on that fateful morning, he had just dropped by to verify if his golf kit could fit into the boot. Our enthusiastic sales executive decided to drag the protesting customer around the car, explaining features and benefits. And the worst, when he finally heard the customer, he said, "Sir, this is the procedure, I must follow it, otherwise, Mr. Bob will fire me." I had a lot of explaining to do that day. So, the principle is to tell, show, and tell. Tell the customer, "Sir, you wanted sports mode along with the automatic transmission. Here it is. Show it to him. Then tell him this is a sport mode that also works with the automatic transmission. It registers." When you and present the product and tell the customer about it and show him what you're talking about, this will help make sure that the customer is absorbing the information that you're giving him. Selling begins after the prospect is qualified and during the presentation and the demonstration period. See, when a customer is faced with a buying decision, he is beset with the fear of loss that's being ripped off, and it's our responsibility to eliminate these fears and raise his desire to own the car that you're showing him. Now comes the interesting bit of features and benefits. Most sales executives rattle off the features, not bothering to explain the benefits. I've heard, "Sir, this boot has 200 liters of boot capacity. So what does it mean to me? Can I place a couple of large suitcases in there along with my carry bag? Will my golf kit fit into the boot?" If you just tell me it's 500 liters, it doesn't make sense to me. So I used to pack in suitcases, as I mentioned, just to make it a visual thing. This refrigerator has X liters capacity. So what does it mean to me? Or this washing machine has a 6 kg capacity. So what does it mean to me? If you go through a proper qualification process, you would know the answer. Maybe the customer is not aware of what an ABS system is, and the salesman would have rattled off this car has an ABS system, and he's too shy to ask the salesperson. Similarly, if you're selling a washing machine, maybe the customer doesn't know what a fuzzy cleaning system is all about. Anyway, during the presentation, it is important to tell the customer about the benefits of the car rather than just the features that it has. Like to say, if you're selling a mattress, this mattress is made of intercoil technology. So how will it help? Most customers will be embarrassed to ask. The feature is what it is, and the benefit is what it does. People buy products for the benefits and not for the features. The customer never buys a product for what it is, but what it will do for what it will do for him. This is a fairly obvious remark, but many salespeople completely fail to understand the real implications. Let me give you a couple of examples of features and benefits. Features: sunroof or a moonroof. What are the benefits? It gives you the feel of a natural light, moonlight inside the cabin. Feature: this washing machine has 6 to 12 kg capacity. What's the benefit? You can wash your curtains in this machine as well and save you the cost of dry cleaning them. That's a benefit. Another feature: this overhead projector has a 1000 watt bulb. What is the benefit? The 1000-watt bulb in this projector is so bright that the slides show clearly, even on sunny days. So, to summarize, we must use a plan for our sales presentation in order to present as many benefits as possible. Far too many sales personnel feel that the customer do not know about the product as much as they do. Conversely, some feel that the customers know more about the product than them. That leads to a poor presentation. Both of them lead to a poor presentation. So the keys to a good presentation are knowledge or insight into the customer, which you will get out of your qualifying process, and the knowledge of the product knowledge. Thank you very much. We'll move on to the next session. This is Bob Seshadri signing off. Bye for now.